Oh, yeah. Hi. So I haven't made a video in a while. Been thinking about things. I'm supposed to be working right now, but I work from home sometimes. I go to the office like 2 days a week, work 3 days a week from home, depending on how many clients want to come and see me. So I worked more in the morning, had lunch. It's the afternoon, it's like 2:45. And I thought, I haven't made a video, I might as well make a video. So what's on my mind? You know, about getting through, getting through life. Sometimes you just get into a rut. Happens to me. So I've been in a rut for a while where I'm quite comfortable, but I'm not that satisfied. And tried this and that to solve the problem, and really none of it works very well. And I came to the conclusion that it's very hard to change anything significant in your life when you're quite comfortable. Because comfort is part of the reason that you stay exactly how you are. So you don't change. And then you keep all the elements of your life sort of balanced so they don't change. And then you're not satisfied, but you can stay unsatisfied for a long time because survival isn't the issue. It's like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So you've got like the top, bottom 3 rungs sorted out, and then you've got these 2 gaping holes, and you're trapped in this, you're locked in a system. And I started to think about how my life is going, and it seems like everything was connected to this rigid system that kept me from moving, towards a more satisfying life or in a more satisfying direction. And I read a bit of systems theory. So apparently in a complicated system, you've got all the elements interrelated. They're interlinked, and then they give feedback to one another to keep the system in equilibrium. That's to keep you right in the middle where you can't get out. That's how I felt anyway. So in systems theory, they say a system will stay in equilibrium as much as it can, as long as it doesn't receive a significant disruption from outside the system. And I came to this conclusion that if I wanted to get what I want in life, like a few elements that are a little more satisfying, I would have to go through a little bit of disruption, a little bit of disorientation, and that's stressful. And then to make it worse, I would need a motivation to break out of my mold, my pattern, my cycle, and a strong motivation. So I've always had a few goals that, they're tentative, they're open-ended, they're for the future, long-term future. And I'm growing older and older, and I always say, in the future. And then what happened is, this is general, I think, for everybody. If you get a really, really significant reason to change things, you'll change things. But if you don't, you'll stay exactly where you are. So you need strong motivation, significant reason, and probably the best kind of significant reason for change is an opportunity to grab at the best kind of life you could ever imagine yourself living. Just like try and grab that make a commitment, I'm going to try and grab that. And I guess that's significantly disruptive, because the idea of a life so much better than the life you're living, it's outside. I mean, like, if your life is this pyramid and you've got all these interlocked elements and you're in there somewhere, your relationships, your job, and your house and your family, that's all in there. If you can imagine a life so much better that it's this pyramid out here somewhere, or it's this goal up here, if it's inspiring enough, if you see a real opportunity that I can become like that, you can start to move towards it. All you do is do things consistent with that goal. Say, I'm going to start here, so what can I start doing in my life now that moves me in that direction? And of course, what happens is, you start out moving towards your goal, as long as you're keeping your life system fairly stable. It's a complex system, so it looks for equilibrium. So bits will move around to allow you to move a certain amount towards your goal. But then you hit that point where the system is under enough disequilibrium that it has to start giving you feedback. Has to start telling you, stop moving or you're going to mess up everything we have, everything. All your relationships, all your finances, everything's going to be messed up if you keep moving, so stop. And how does a system do that? Well, because we are human beings, of course, it's very obvious, and I know this because I went through this recently. So, your life as a complex system gives you feedback through your perception and your emotions, because your perception and your emotions are connected to this integrated total system that you call your life, as you have currently arranged it. So you've arranged your life in a certain way. It's got a certain amount of comfort. There are a lot of things that are dissatisfying about it and you don't like them. You want to change them. But when you start moving in the direction of a really great goal, and you're moving and you're saying, yes, I'm going to do this, you've got all your willpower and all your whatever trying to work with you. It doesn't matter whether you're a strong-willed person or a weak-willed person. This is how our lives are structured. So you reach a point and you start to feel feelings that tell you, don't do this. Any more steps in that direction and this system is going to begin to disintegrate. Your life is highly disoriented and destabilized. That's the word. Your life is highly destabilized right now, and you don't know what it is. You just get some anxiety, especially people who get anxiety attacks. Many times this is, well, there are many reasons for anxiety attacks, but if you're trying to get to a goal that significantly changes your life, anxiety attack, a kind of sense of anxiety, sense of dread, or a sense of very much danger, high stress, high cortisol. I can't handle this, I don't know what's happening to me, or something like that. That's sometimes a sign that your life is at that point where the system that's holding you in place is just about to start disintegrating. It's highly destabilized, and it's telling you through your biological systems, this is dangerous. Stop making these steps consistently in one direction that is not part of our integrated system. And the other thing is your perceptions. You start to look at things and you start to see abnormal feedback. You start to see things in weird ways that are highly discouraging to your chasing your goal. So here you are trying to move towards your goal, and you start to notice that if, this particular area of my life, my relationships, is messed up by something, and it's abnormally messed up. Like, not enough to justify a few small steps in a certain direction. And what I found is, if you keep going, the key is, you want to be systematic. You want to say, okay, so I'm aiming at this goal, one goal. You want to be methodical, so you know what steps to take that are consistent with that goal. You don't have to take them every day, just keep taking steps. And a point reaches where you reach this disequilibrium point, and you start getting all this abnormal feedback. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you you're on the right track, you're doing it. You're disintegrating the system, and you'll be able to get all the pieces of your life, take the ones you like and reintegrate them into a new life arrangement, and remove, ditch the ones you don't like, leave them behind. So the feedback and the weird perception where you're seeing things and they don't seem to be like they always were. Let me give an example though. So you're trying to get your financial life in order, and you're taking steps in that direction. And as you're trying to get this financial life in order, a point reaches where suddenly you get a call from a client and it's a normal call, or you get a call from you meet a customer, but the client or customer appears, at least to your perception, to be behaving very irrationally. Very, very irrational. Well, they are connected to your system, you see. All your relationships are connected to your system of life. So people in your relationships, especially if they are close, start to experience the sense of disorientation in their life system because of this relationship with you. And the influence of how complex systems work makes them overreact to things, or makes them behave in ways that are so peculiar that in your perception something very strange is happening, and that is a strange reaction. So with the goal I was trying to reach, I started to see strange behavior around me, and not my distant relationships, and not even some of my closer relationships, but relationships that people who somehow would be affected if I managed to attain the goal. It would mean they would have to change their relationship with me somehow. So something like that. So like, if it's finances, maybe I'm trying to move to a higher level of financial stability and freedom, financial freedom. And I've got people who are making money, lending me money. They will feel a stress in their personal life because somebody's breaking out. And this is if this is a very important relationship somehow, and it's related to your goal. This person will feel a need to react strangely to you so that you get the feeling that this is not the direction to go. So that's a long example just to say that our lives are complex systems. Any real attempt at change towards satisfaction and fulfillment, towards happiness and freedom and fulfillment, if you're aiming towards freedom and fulfillment in some way consistently, and like taking confident steps in spite of a lot of feedback and so on, you start to experience something like different elements of your life floating into the air. Everything's in flux. The system is unstable. And if you keep going towards your goal, or at least this happened to me, a point of disintegration reaches where suddenly you feel extremely free to act. And you can really chase after that goal now. But there's still a high level of stress involved because everything is giving you feedback that this is not how living is done. This is not how change is done. But if you're ready to give up all the old because it's not working, to rearrange the good bits in something new, the stress is worth it if you can keep that goal in front of you and keep on making the steps. And the stress dies down. And the system restructures itself around your new goal. Not when you reach it, as you move towards it. You get into some state of liberty, and that's basically the systemic elements of your life are in flux. Everything's disintegrated. All the relationships between different parts of your life are renegotiating themselves, and that gives you a lot of freedom to really chase your goal. And I worked on that a little, and I found that after some time things start to settle, and for me, settling into a much more satisfying arrangement. I'm getting two areas of my life that have bothered me for a while significantly under control, and it's exciting. So that's what I've been doing, mixed in with blah blah blah. And I'm going to try and make some videos along the theme of, so I've changed my site's orientation to making sense of life, just because it seemed like a logical thing to change it to. And I'll see how that goes. And I hope to be regular, maybe once a week, maybe but yeah, I can't say for sure, but I'm going to try and be a little more regular with my site. So thank you for watching. This is Spirit Lab. I'm Salmon. This is my hair. Today is a Wednesday. See you soon.